hope everything is fine. How is life treating you? I hope life is treating you good. I hope everything is fine. I hope you guys are good. I hope the week is actually good on your side. Do you know, I think that sometimes people fear more about getting into a relationship after a long period of celibate than actually falling in love with a cheater. I will explain why I think so. Sometimes you might get into a relationship with someone and you tell yourself what comes out of this relationship. Maybe I've dealt with it before, or I'm actually going to deal with it. One thing is for certain is that a man will not, or a woman will not cheat on me. The signs will be there, or I'm going to be very careful. I've been dating for a while, so I definitely know what's good, what's bad. That's what some people will tell themselves. But guess what? Others will be like, I've not been in a relationship for a while. How do I start all over? How do I even know if this person is really into me? How do I know if she or he is really into me? How do I know if they really, really care about me? How do I know if everything they're saying about this relationship is actually genuine? How do I know if their feelings are genuine? How? I'm going to say this today. The fact that you've been out of a relationship and you're trying to get into a new relationship, or maybe you were heartbroken, you had to take time to heal, or you had been a celibate for a while, or maybe you just decided to, yeah, definitely. Maybe you had a breakup and decided that, okay, I'm going to chill for this period of time. I'm not going to get involved. Or maybe I'm just going to be like a phone flirt. There are phone flirts. There are people that do communicate with you on the phone. You guys will do all the love duvet on the phone, but at the end of the day, they're not gonna, get to see you. They just want somebody that's gonna be like a company to them, somebody they can talk with, somebody they can actually interact with for a period of time. Like it's just gonna be like some kind of online dating, but you guys are not really into each other. Now I'm going to tell you this. If you've ever been in a relationship or you're in a relationship and you feel like, oh, you've been hurt. Yes, okay. If you've ever been in a relationship or you're in a relationship and you feel like you've been hurt and you are healing or you actually want to heal before getting to another relationship, thumbs up. That's the right thing to do. Now, after healing or putting yourself together and you want to get into another relationship and you're scared of being hurt, take this from me today. I want you to know that as long as you're a human being, everything that comes to you might be repeatedly opposite or maybe similar or maybe never the same. What I'm trying to say in essence is that some people might have cases that seems to be that seem similar or might have cases that are opposite. But whatever happens is what you build in here. Whatever comes up is what you build in here. If anything happens to you once and is about to happen the second time, then you have the power to be able to change that situation. Yes, by working on the way you were able to handle the first situation. If you're in a relationship with somebody that you were overgiving, oversharing, be it a man or a woman, you were in a relationship with someone that you were overgiving, oversharing, over emotional, showing everything and everything that could read you easily, take advantage of you and everything. Whereas in the beginning, they genuinely felt something for you. Genuinely, the man might have loved you. Genuinely, the woman might have loved you. But along the line, they felt like you were giving out so much. Or maybe they felt like you were not giving enough. Or maybe you were not attentionate or caring enough. Maybe you were just more of a talkative and not a doer. Maybe, there are just a lot of reasons why maybe people might want to either break up or make up. So if you see that you had this attitude of being someone that was always being the one trying to force themselves on people, you have to take a step back. You have to refrain. You have to work on yourself, because if some things keep happening to you over and over again, then definitely, if those things cannot be worked out by the people that are coming to your life, then I think that a reset button should comes from you. There are some things that you have to reset for your own good. There are some things that you have to reset. Yeah, yeah. Don't think that okay, because of the fact that these things are happening to you, it means that you're a bad person or you're not good enough. No, maybe your kind of person attracts some certain kind of people, and those people come to you genuinely because they have feelings for you. Along the line, one thing leads to another, and they start, falling out. Maybe actually there is a problem somewhere that needs to be fixed by you, not even the people coming to your life. Maybe you're the very free kind of person. Maybe you're so accessible. Maybe you're so emotionally easy to be read. And maybe you'll be acting like someone that is desperate. Maybe you've been acting like someone that desperately needs someone. Or maybe you've been acting like someone that cannot do without people. And when people come into your life, not once, not two, they repeatedly see this attitude of you. To you, it might be some kind of being free, being caring, being, let me tell you something. Human beings love good and sometimes love hard people. All might not be the same, but I'm telling you, most of the times when you are too generous, when you are too available, when you are too down to earth, it becomes a problem. Everybody wants to ride you. Everybody wants to take advantage of you. Everybody wants to take advantage of you. Everybody wants to, to that part of you that you think that it's something that, there are some things about yourself that only you and yourself know. There are some good and bad things about you. When I talk about you, I'm not talking about like some secrets. I'm talking about like your personality, the kind of person that you are. Deep down, you know how you are. You know if you're friendly. You know if you're too emotional. There are things you should know about yourself, and there are things you should be able to work on. If you know that you're too emotionally available and people are taking you for granted, or that's your weak point, or that's, yes, some will say, oh, a woman will love me for who I am, a man is going to love me for who I am. We are not disputing that fact. But there are some things that when it needs changes, you have to work on them. Don't just stay back and say, okay, because of this or that, I'm not going to make any effort to work on this character of mine, or this attitude, or this personality. I'm just going to stay back and wait for somebody that will accept me the way I am. Yeah, a genuinely person will accept you the way you are. And though they might still, sometimes find it very difficult, and some might even find it, some might just be bold enough to tell you how it should be. Some might not be bold enough to tell you how it should be. There are people that will see you, they see how confident you are or how lack of confidence you are. Some people will see how you're dealing with low self-esteem and they want to take advantage of you. Some people will see how emotional you are and they want to take advantage of you. Some people will see how caring and nice you are and they want to take advantage of you. It's not just about a particular gender, it's about your own personality and how you deal with certain things. If you see that some things have repeatedly played out in your relationship, in your friendship with people, and at the first, they always give you that love, respect, and and then after a certain period of time, they start acting up, they start. Know that apart from the fact that maybe if this person is seeing you for the first time, it could be that maybe they are this kind of, very controlling, or people that play over people's emotions. But I'm saying that if this happens repeatedly, then maybe you should work on yourself a little bit, work on the way you approach friendship, relationship, work on the way you approach matters that has something to do with emotions, because maybe you're oversharing, over pouring, over, involving, and it's giving people the vibe of pick me, like he's a pick me, she's a pick me. Pick me is not just about women. There are men also that are pick me. There are men also that have the tendency of wanting to always be involved in everything a woman they're in a relationship with is doing. Sometimes people need their space, sometimes people need their privacy, sometimes people need a moment to themselves, and when you're all over them, it becomes boring. Sometimes it's something that happens within, you know, both genders. Sometimes when you oversharing, be it the man, be it the woman, when you're oversharing, you don't longer have value in the eyes of your opposite sex. When you are, there are things that warrant deep intimacy. When I talk about deep intimacy, I'm not talking about intercourse. What I'm trying to say in essence is that there are some things that warrant like tight connection. Maybe if he is your husband, if she is your wife, there are things that if you share with them, they are your partner. They're not gonna sit in a light like you dating someone and sharing some kind of things with them. They must have read you completely, and they'll know a lot about you. Don't give somebody that you are not into 100 to know so much about your personality. Sometimes code it a little bit. If you know you are too emotional, it's true that they might get to find out, but with time, but don't overreact, don't overshare, don't over make it obvious that you're too emotional, because some people will take advantage of your personality against you in a relationship. Some people will be like, oh, he can't do anything, he's just there. She can't do anything, she's just there. She knows she cannot do without me. You don't have to make it obvious to someone that you're dating. Let me put dating, because when you're married it's different. When you're married, you have to be open to your partner. There is nothing to hide. But during the courtship period of you being involved in a relationship, and trying as much as possible to express yourself so much in a way that you want your partner to know everything about you, it takes someone that is, very intelligent, respectful, and was well brought up to respect you, knowing fully well how much you've poured out, how much you've poured out yourself to them. Some people don't value that. Some people don't care about how much emotions you've poured out expressing yourself. Sometimes some men or some women will even prefer that you play the tough guy, you play the tough lady. Not in all cases, but why I'm saying that is because you see people complaining like, oh, she's all over me, he's all over me, and stuff like that. People want to know you at the same time they don't want to know you. That is why you see there's this saying that they say men are adventurers. A man might have one of the most prettiest women in the world, but he still sees another woman that passes by. He still wants to know what is below her undies, just because men are adventurous in nature. But that is not saying that a man is supposed to be, very loose. I'm just saying it doesn't give a man the go ahead to be loose. That's wrong. What I'm trying to say is that the more there are things that you do not expose about yourself in a relationship, the more it gives room for your partner, the opposite sex, to want to discover more about you. The more you review everything in 1 or 2 months of dating or courtship or entanglement, it gives you less chances of that person wanting to know you more. For example, a man is just meeting you, or a woman is just meeting you. They already know everything about your family, how your mom was, how your dad was, how your siblings are, everything about your family. Oh, your siblings are working. Oh, they are jobless. Oh, they are this. Oh, they are that. Oh, they are this. They might just be smiling and laughing while you keep saying things about your family to entertain them. But you're indirectly feeding their personality with much more than they need. You have actually either brought down your family before them or raised your family before them. And by doing so, they have now they have something, like they have a kind of mindset about where you're coming from, whether you were coming from a home that is well put together, whether you're coming from a place of love, whether you're coming from a place of fight, you're coming from a place of conflict. It gives them that mind to know how to deal with you. Not every man is like that. Like I've said again, not every man is like that. But I'm saying this, that most at times, the more you reveal yourself to people, the more they know how to deal with you. So if you are in a relationship and you are trying as much as possible to understand why some things keep happening the same way, and it keeps happening to you the same way, like you've been in a relationship the first time, the same thing, you've been in another relationship, the same thing, you've been in a third relationship, the same thing, maybe you're the one that needs to work on yourself a little bit. Yeah, you might actually be the problem without knowing. Maybe your oversharing attitude, maybe your too emotional revealing attitude, maybe your too overcaring attitude. It's sometimes boring. And then maybe there are a particular set of men that you are into or that you like. Maybe there are a particular set of women that you like or you're into. And you don't understand that those particular set of men or particular set of women have certain kind of interests. There are some men that will say, oh no, if I don't get a girl that is tall, is this, is that, this is kind of my spec, or I love a working class woman, or I want a reserved woman, I want somebody, this is my spec, this is my spec. You see some men will be like, oh, I want a fair lady, I don't want a chubby lady, oh, I want a chubby lady, this is my spec, oh, I want somebody crazy, I want a baddie, oh, I want a baddie with a touch of Christianity, this one, that one. Okay, we all have created the kind of partner we want in our head. Now, one thing you should understand, that while creating that kind of partner in quotes that you want in your head, that kind of partner also have what they want in their own mind. Now, maybe you're meeting somebody that you were never his or her spec. They just like you because of the way you talk, the way you interact, the way you were able to lure them in. They start getting involved, with conversation with you because of maybe one or two things that you said that happens to be very, friendly or funny, or, things like that. And now you start communicating, and the next thing, you're sharing everything that has to do with your family and everything. You've not even given them time to get to know you enough. Because one thing about people is getting to know people. It's better for someone to get to know you enough than for you to want to share a lot about your family to them. Sometimes there are things that you tell a guy or a lady that you're just getting to know, or that you've known for a while, about your family, it either encourages or discourages them. Because maybe, for example, you're from a broken home. When I say broken home, I don't mean like you're just from like a wrong home. I'm just like, maybe your parents are not together, and there are some kind of things that you might want to share because maybe you're emotional. Sometimes when you're in a relationship with people, learn to hold yourself as much as possible, especially if you've had one, two, three cases where you've dated people and they walk out of your life for no good reason, and you know deep down that you're not a forge, you never cheated on them, you never jilted them, you guys were on good terms. And sometimes those people go back and say, like, I don't want to be with a man from a broken home, I don't want to be with a lady from a broken home. So oversharing sometimes at the early stage of a relationship is very, very dangerous. Give yourself time to get to understand the man or the woman you're involved with before you get to share. And sometimes, if you know you want to settle down with this person, I think it will be best for you guys to get to that stage before you overshare. Oversharing is not advisable at the early stage of a relationship. So you don't have repeated failures in your relationship. Because sometimes to you, you might just be like, I want him to feel emotional for me. I want her to feel like I never had a father figure. I never had a mother figure. Maybe she's going to love me like my mom. Maybe he's going to love me like my dad. No, there is no such things. We are human beings and we all have this mindset. Look, when you talk to a person, they go back and they think about everything you said to them. It plays in their mindset. It's either good or bad. Nobody is saying that any human being is perfect. No human being is perfect. We as human beings, we are not perfect, but we love to judge people. That is one thing about us. We forget about the problems we have in our own eyes and want to take off those in people's own eyes. So that is why I'm telling you this. If you've had repeated cases whereby you've had issues like, oh, I broke up with this girl, this other girl, we're still breaking up, or this girl jilted me, that guy jilted me, and stuff like that, then maybe it's not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. And the people that have jilted you, the people that have you've had issues with, are the kind of men or the kind of women that you've always loved to have as partners for life. They do come your way, but they do not last. Then there is something that either you are not doing right, because I won't say them, because if it's them, I don't think one person is going to come, second person is going to come, third person. Yes, there are chances, there are possibilities. You say, oh, you're waiting for the right person. Why waiting for the right person? Is there something that you need to do on your own part? Is there something you need to work out? Because sometimes we don't want to hear the truth. We want to blame others for our own mistakes as well. We keep blaming others and there is no time. The best of teachers are also teachers that do listen when students put their hand up. Sir, please, ma'am, please, can I know about this? Can I know about this? Because when you're teaching a classroom and nobody asks a question, it's not because they have understood everything you said. Some might be scared to ask questions because of the way you teach. Some might be scared to ask questions because you might shut them up. So sometimes you being in a relationship severally, having the kind of men or the women you want, and they walk out of your life without any explanation, it's not because you are hard. It's not because you are very tough. It's not because you're very hard. Maybe you are hard to deal with. Maybe you do not respond the way it's supposed to be. Maybe there's something about you. Maybe there's a childhood trauma that you've been dealing with that you don't know how to, approach it. Maybe mentally to you, you're very okay, but maybe you're not okay. Maybe the people that come into your life genuinely care about you, but there are things, there are acts you put up along the line that scares men or scare women from you. And to you, it's not a problem. To you, oh, I haven't found the right man, I haven't found the right woman. Whereas there is a problem and you're running away from the problem. The first solution to solving anything is acceptance. If you've had, like, that's why I said, if you've been with like 3 or 4 relationship with partners that are exactly what you envisage in your head, the kind of men or the kind of women that you've always wanted in your life, and they come your way and they walk out without no explanation, without definitely no explanation, they just walk out, then sit back and question. Don't be in a hurry to get to another relationship. Don't be in a hurry to get involved. Like, I want to prove to my ex that I'm tough. I want to prove. No, there's nothing to prove to anybody. Sit back and, evaluate yourself mentally. There's just a lot. You need to sit back. I'm not saying that the problem must be from you. It happens, you might be in 3, 4 relationship, it doesn't work out, and the problem was not actually from you. But just sit back. Ask yourself, am I a kind of man that if I was a man, I would love to have me as a man? Am I a woman that if I was a woman, I would love to? I don't know if I'm making sense here, but in essence, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes sit back and ask yourself, Is there something I'm doing right or wrong? Or is there something I need to work on? Do I need to work on myself before trying to get involved again? Look, everything is not like, oh, I'm not lucky. Look, life is not just about luck, it takes hard work as well. Life takes a lot of effort. We being spiritual, it's not enough. Being spiritual, when I talk about being spiritual, you can be from any, religion, you can worship whatever you're worshiping, but that's not enough. That's not enough grounds for you to say, oh, I'm superb or I'm good enough for a perfect relationship. It has to do with a lot of understanding, building your personality, your mindset. Mentally, you have to be really, 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 really okay, because sometimes some people don't take something. There are some things that to you might be nothing, but to others it means a lot. And you sometimes people forget the fact that, oh, I wasn't brought up with this person wasn't brought up by my parents, I wasn't brought up by his parents, I wasn't brought up by her parents, she wasn't brought up by my parents. This is one thing that people should try and understand when dealing with an opposite sex. Don't always be like, oh, the girls I've come across are like that, the men I've come across are like that. No, if you get involved in a relationship newly, try to understand the person you're involved with. But don't overshare. I repeat, don't overshare. At the beginning of the relationship, it's better you understand that person, understand yourself. Oversharing is a no, no, no. Don't overshare. You might lose someone because of what you've told them, unknowingly to you. If you told them a lot about your family and they've seen your family through you, and they already for them, some people with little minds, they've already read your family through you and they feel like there's nothing to gain here, or there's nothing to explore, there's nothing really fascinating about your family, and they walk out of that relationship. Yeah, some guys are like that, some ladies are like that. Funny enough, some people don't they want to get involved with people that don't talk too much, people that have so many things they didn't tell them. Some people are like, I'm yet to discover a lot about this man, I'm yet to discover a lot about this woman, so I'm into her, I'm into him. But once they start knowing a lot, once you start oversharing, once you start telling them a lot about your family, your background, things about your past, stuff like that, they start being like, oh, there's nothing really special about her. There's nothing really special about him. So there are some things that you keep to yourself. You don't go and tell a man that, oh, my father used to beat my mother. Onto what level that you want to, then you start, when you say that, you start crying like my mom went through a lot. The guy will just know that you were from a broken home. It takes an emotionally well structured man, a well brought up gentleman that understands that what happened to your parent must not happen to you. Because some people will be like, what did your mother do before your father was beaten? Have you never had people asking silly questions? Or you might think that a man is mature because he puts on suits. Maturity has got nothing to do with age, physical appearance, looks, or what height. Maturity is in here. It takes a proper conversation for you to know a mature man or a mature lady, and their actions as well, because some people might have a proper, decent communication with you or conversation with you in front of, maybe a bottle of wine or a plate of, barbecue, fish or whatever. And after that, what comes out of their mouth is nothing to write home about. So you being in a relationship with someone, you don't have to rush things. You don't have to rush and be spewing out things like, oh, my dad is so, my dad was this, my dad was that. There are some mistakes that you will make without even knowing. People will just, some guys will just be like, there's nothing special about her. I'm saying that for men that are very vicious. Some men want to marry women with like large family background, not necessarily for money, they just want something for name. Like, why some others, people have different strokes for different folks. People really have different reasons why they want to get involved in relationship. But all I'm saying is that don't over spew out at the beginning of your relationship. It's gonna help you. This will really save you a lot, because most people have actually lose potential suitors and good, wives to be because of oversharing. And some people were like, oh, I don't want to get into a family that is not united. They might not tell you. They will just walk out of that relationship. I don't want to marry a man that his family is not united. I don't want to marry a woman that is from polygamous home. Some people just have that mindset, like they don't want to get involved with anything that is not united in the long run, but you never can tell. You might just, to you, it might just be, oh, nothing, but to some men or to some women, it means a lot. So I hope whatever I said today was helpful. Oversharing at the beginning of a relationship is uncalled for. Certain things should be kept to yourself. See you next. Thank you. Please, if you've not subscribed, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch my movie. Encourage me by watching my movie and resharing. I love you guys. Ciao, ciao. If there's anything, guys, see you. See ya.